Hey, this is my recap of the Real Housewives of Orange County, Season 9, Episode 5. I couldn't care less. Get it? So this week someone told me they prefer when my recaps have more opinion. And this episode, this vlog, recap, review, whatever, has a lot of opinion. I would describe this episode as taking me from feeling like, meh, about Vicky, don't hate her, don't love her, to really disliking Vicky. This was not a very good episode for Vicky. Now, I might feel differently in 2 or 3 weeks, but right now, everything in this episode she did annoyed me. So we start off with Shannon and Vicky going to the medicine thing, which of course she overreacts and yells and screams and needs all the attention on her the whole time, Vicky. We see Heather planning a party. She wants to do sort of a groundbreaking ceremony at her lot. Has a gorgeous view. But did it seem kind of small to you, especially for putting a like 14,000 or 20,000 square foot house or whatever it is? It just, to me, okay, it's a gorgeous lot. I'm not trying to act snotty here. It's just, I kind of expect it to be like 5 or 6 acres. Now, we can't see where the lot ends, so maybe it rolls all down that hill, which would not be unusual for Southern California housing. That's very, very typical, especially, in California, anytime they put the word hill behind something, so there's Laguna and Laguna Hills, Anaheim Hills, you add a hill to a city name and it's now much more expensive and nicer. So that may be the case, but I was just kind of surprised. I thought it was going to be a much bigger lot. So we'll have to kind of see, maybe we'll get a better idea. They'll show us an overhead view or something of that. Now, Tamara, Vicky, and Shannon go get their nails done, and Tamara is talking about, oh, I talked to Heather, and she blah, 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 blah. Sorry. And I'll try to tone it down a little bit. And Vicky talks about how, well, she just snores when Heather talks. And that just set my teeth on edge. That is so rude. That is so rude and disrespectful and pushes all of my personal buttons. So you know how we all have those things that may be left over from childhood that people tell you and in an instant it sets you off? That would do it for me. Like her being like snoring, or I don't want to hear what Heather has to say, really hits all of my hot buttons. So I'm probably overreacting. But her thinking that that's so funny, to me, is just so mean, and I don't like it at all, and I don't think it's funny. So you can see my anger at Vicky building, and Tamara to a certain degree. We see more of Lizzie and her kids and her husband. We see Tamara at work with her son. And, Vicky, Tamara, you guys both need to, not employ your children. Let them go work someplace else. And if they want to come back and work for you at some point, but you're their mothers, you're their boss. It's going to get all sorts of weird, confusing. Just let him go. Your son wants to go find himself. Let him go find himself. You can't. It's good advice that he should find something he's passionate about and do a career, but you can't make him do it, and it's going to hurt your relationship in the meantime. We see Shannon decorating, and she will not get off her husband's butt. She is on him. She makes fun of the way he talks, his manners. It's really getting to be a lot. I mean, we're 5 episodes in, and we've seen 5 episodes of her just getting on him for everything. I kind of hope she sees the episodes and realizes how awful it looks, because it's really, really... I couldn't imagine treating my husband like that on TV, or vice versa. If my husband did that to me, I would be mortified. Let's see, they feng shui Vicky's office. I don't care. Now, all the girls, the full housewives and Danielle, so that's Danielle seems to be like a junior housewife or an official friend of the housewives. She's the one that a friend of a friend knows. And then that's Tamara, Danielle, Shannon, Lizzie, Vicky, and Heather. So they get in the limo, and Vicky is so rude to Lizzie right off the bat. Tamara says, oh, she's not going to like Lizzie because Lizzie's got big boobs and lips. And I'm like, that's called being a bigot. Like, when you don't know someone, and you decide you're going to hate them because of how they look, that's pretty universally seen as a bad quality, and it's really unattractive, and it's clear she just does not like Lizzie, and she's gonna kind of find a reason to make it true. He was horribly uncomfortable in the limo. You can see that everyone was kind of shocked, But everyone just kind of goes, oh, that's Vicky. And it's okay. Doesn't matter how awful she is. That's just who Vicky is. She's just a bad person and we're all going to accept it. I do not like that. I think it is an awful way. It's just like, you know how they say, bullying's wrong? Sitting around and watching someone behave like that is basically like letting a bully get away with it. They go to dinner. Heather's clearly in a bad mood. She's being pretty snippy. I like Heather, but she's kind of out of line here. So they all go to sit down. Heather's sitting. Vicky tells her to move, so she moves. But then you can see where she's like, I don't get, you could tell that it bothered her, and she decided it wasn't going to happen. It just happened that was where Shannon ended up sitting. So somehow this became an issue between Shannon and Heather, when it really should have been about Vicky being rude. She isn't going to tell everyone what to do. But somehow Vicky just got escaped, and Heather kind of made it into like Shannon told her to move, but that's not really what happened. I don't think, don't get me wrong, I don't think Heather was in the right. But at the same time, this was really about Vicky being rude. But Shannon came back really intense, and I agree with Heather that she was really intense about it. Like, rather than her being like, Heather, that was Vicky, and I wish she did a little bit, but it somehow became all about Heather thinking she could tell everyone what to do, when it was Vicky who told everyone what to do. And I really thought Shannon's interview about Heather were like really intense and over the top, and this is my opinion. Those interviews are not done the night of. We all know that. It's easy to forget, but those are usually done, I believe, toward the end of the season. A lot of the shows I've seen, they've had at least 2 different outfits, so I'm going to say they do it twice. We all know that Shannon and Heather get into it really badly in the future. We've seen the previews. My guess is that the interviews are done after that has happened. Shannon is now looking back at this episode through the filter of the problems she's had with Heather all season. And that's why the interviews are so intense. Okay, that's my opinion, is that what we are seeing this episode is Shannon's feelings about Heather based on the whole season. That's what I'm going to say, and I'm going to stick with it. Because I felt like they were a little... it felt like they were talking about more than just what was happening now. Like how Heather thinks she's better than Shannon, which I didn't get at all. Like the whole thing about are they in the same neighborhood or not. I didn't see that as being that Heather somehow thought she was better. She just wasn't sure if they were in the same subdivision. I don't know. I like Heather. I might be biased. Anyway, the whole thing with Shannon and Heather was bigger than it should have been. Vicky's continually rude through the whole meal. Somehow they pass out stuff to everyone but Lizzie, and Lizzie's like, well, thanks for not ordering me a thing. And then, Vicky just starts screaming, and they get the shot, and Vicky did order for everyone. But then, Lizzie leaves. Just let Lizzie leave and calm down. And everyone's attitude is like, oh, that's just how Vicky is. That's an acceptable attitude. If you were someplace and there was a lady and she's like, I hate black people. And you're like, oh, that's just how she is. That's not acceptable. You'd be like, no, that's an unacceptable attitude to have. Right? You can't just be like, oh, that's a totally unfair attitude, but we're all okay with that. Okay? So, not that I'm going to put those two issues on the same level. To me, it's just a continuation of a much more serious issue. There we go. Just to be clear. Anyway, we bring up Brooks toward the end. And I've changed my opinion on Brooks. I actually now think that Brooks and Vicky deserve each other. Because she has been a pretty awful person all episode. And he seems to be a pretty slimy person. So maybe they belong together. I mean, maybe not. I still don't think he has any redeeming qualities, whereas I think Vicky just gets a little caught up in herself. But this was not... I really need to calm down, because I'm a little too worked up about Vicky. But hopefully this will pass. We'll have some good episodes with Vicky. I did see online where she said that she disagrees with her behavior this episode, so hopefully it gets better. But we'll see, because she's very closely pushing toward my least favorite housewife ever. Anyway, that is my recap and review, and I will see you guys later.